Hello everybody, here Renee from Spain. And if I look a little drunk, it's because I'm a little drunk. I had all afternoon quite a lot of beer. But don't forget, we are in the coronavirus lockdown. That's why we have to try to have fun, because there's nothing else we can do. I mean, so many people are dying and they're having horrible times. And there's more than 200,000 infected in Spain right now. No, right now, no, because maybe 80,000 are already recovered. But still, it's a drama. It's a drama. It's a horrible thing what's happening. But this afternoon, I thought, fuck it all and just enjoy it. That's what I'm trying to do. And why not with a cup of beers today? Okay, this is a video, of course. I'm going to show my lockdown, the 6 weeks of lockdown, and this is my 6th week. That's why the lockdown from the 20th of April to the 26th of April of 2020. The 6th time that we are locked down in this house. That's why I've been listening again to a lot of stuff. And some of the stuff is this what I'm going to show first on vinyl. And I'm going to start with Blind Fury. This is a band that before was Satan, but they changed the name into Blind Fury with a new vocalist, Lou Taylor, because the other vocalist, he went on with Blitzrick. And yes, this is not a perfect album. I enjoy it, but I never really liked this album very, very, very much. Caught in the Act, the first album by Satan, it's a classic. The older albums by Satan are just okay. But this one is just okay too. It's more melodic than the Satan stuff. But that's the way it is. And some of these band members, like Steve Ramsey, for example, and Sean Taylor, they went on with Skyclad, with the singer of Sabbath, the UK Sabbath, not the Japanese Sabbath. Okay, let's go on. Okay, let's go on with Destroyer 666. This is the first full-length album from 1997, black thrash metal from Australia. Before this, they released an EP and a demo. The demo was later on re-released on vinyl, but this is the first full-length album. And here we have Ballistic Howitzer from Gospel of the Horns fame on drums, Shrapnel, Today in Nocturnal Graves, Phil Bullet Eater, that came from Hobbs Angel of Death, the vocalist of Angel of Death, Hobbs Angel of Death, died not long ago, to be honest. And of course we have KK Warslot on here. That's the only guy that's still nowadays in Destroyer 666. Of course we know him from Corpse Molester, and Bestial Warlust. Okay? Corpse Molestation. Yes, Corpse Molestation. Great release and a must-have. If you like all that stuff, black thrash metal, really cool. It's not too fast. Some fast parts too, but some slower parts. So it's quite good riffing band. Same with Power from Hell and the True Metal. This is the first full-length album from 2004 from these Brazilian maniacs, and they have released 5 more albums after this one. That's why these guys are not joking. They are really fast releasing records. They are from Sao Paulo. They formed in 2001, and if you are into Warfare, Venom, Bathory, Celtic Frost, you will like this too. I always like this very much. Now I'm going into a kind of a different territory, and I'm talking about Phobia and Resist and Exist. This is a split album with in total 8 songs, 5 from Phobia and 3 from Resist and Exist. And this came out on the label Profane Existence Records. And that was like kind of a collective of anarchists, you know, and they were behind this label, a group of people. Phobia is a grindcore band with a long history. They were already formed in 1990, and they were from California, you know. And the other band, Resist and Exist, it's more like an anarcho-punk band, and they were also from California, and also formed in 1990. See, this also came out on CD and on black vinyl, but I have this on clear vinyl. This is the inlay. I like Resist and Exist more. You know, I like it more. I mean, this is really a cool label because they also release stuff by the band Doom, or a band I really like a lot, Extinction of Mankind. That's a really great band. I have the first 2 albums by Extinction of Mankind. It's crushed, punky metal. Really good. Amazing. I really recommend it from here. And also they release stuff, this label, Profane Existence, by the band Misery. You know, check Misery out too. It's again a crushed band. Really good one. Okay, here a band from Berk, Prophets of Doom, Access to Wisdom from 89. This is the only album they ever released. If you like some of the stuff, I mean, of the riffings, reminds me of King Diamond. It's just very good. It's a high voice, like Cole Albert, mixed with Fate's Warning. That is the sound of the vocalist. This is a great album with a lot of cool songs, some progressive metal. Most of it, it's just direct heavy metal. It's a killer album that not many people, I mean, will know about, I think. You know, because of course everybody knows Artillery from Denmark, or Pretty Maids, or Merciful Fate, King Diamond. But Prophets of Doom is not a well-known band, but they're very good. I'm going a little faster than normal, maybe. Okay, I can put this back later too. But I'm having a great time. I have to tell you that too. Okay. Next week I'm gonna upload a video that a lot of US metal fans are gonna love. I'm not gonna say anything else about that video. Only I'm going to show a couple records that came out on Almaguer Records. I'm not going to say a lot about these records, but I will talk about this a lot more in the video that I'm going to post on Wednesday. Here we have the second album by Shock Paris, Still in Starlight. Of course, US metal from 1987. And here we have Go for the Throat, the debut album by Shock Paris. I made a little note with my favorite songs. Of course, the instrumental Marcellus the Saint, Burn It Down, On a Wing and a Prayer, Go for the Throat, the title track, Can't Fight the Evil, Run But Don't Hide. Those are my favorite songs by this album, on this album. If you like Obsession, early Vicious Rumors, you know, from the debut album, then you should check out this band too. Another Almaguer record I listened to was this one by Havoc, The Grip. I also listened to Final Conflict. This is kind of a punk hardcore band. And this comes actually with a little fencing tool. This is the background. You see, a little fencing. It's of course a very political orientated band. Left wing, most of it. Anti-nuclear power people. Let's put it that way. Final Conflict. For if you look at Impulse Manslaughter, the debut album, there's a guy with a t-shirt. And he had a t-shirt of this band. And that's why I bought this album in the 90s. You know, I paid 30 Denmarks for it. You know, maybe 92, 93. And I want to show this amazing thrash metal band from the UK, Metal Messiah. Great album, Honor Among Thieves. Check out the song Mad Man, number 5. An amazing song by this really underrated band. I think they only released this. They were also on a compilation back in the day that actually I have here somewhere. Yeah, anyway, they were on one compilation too that I really like. And Treason was on that compilation too. Treason from the UK. It's actually a compilation with only bands from the UK. But I will play that. I didn't play it yet, but it's out. I took it out of my collection to play it this week. But finally I didn't play it. That's why it's there for the future. Okay, I'm going to show some tapes. Here we have the band from Poland called Hangover. And this is their demo Terror Bear. You see, this is the demo from 2002. Yeah, dirty black thrash metal. Alcoholic black thrash metal, let's put it that way. If you like Gehenna, you will like this band too, for sure. I also listened to this album by Samahel, Blood Ritual. Most of it's slow parts doomy black metal, with some exceptions, like the title track, for example. You know, but this is really a good album that is really enjoyable from the first listen. I mean, this is to me already a classic, and for many other guys it is too, for sure. This band was from Switzerland, and they released. I have only the first 3 albums plus a DVD, but those albums are really good. Later I bought some more by them, but finally I traded them on because I just didn't like them. You know, I sold them on eBay. But for example, check the song With the Gleam of the Torches. Check that song, you know, because that song gives you a good idea what to expect of this classic. You know, it got some slower parts, some doomy parts, some faster, you know, parts too. But this is just, you know, most of it's a mid-paced black metal record, you know. This is the only thing I can say about it, you know. Also, the last thing I want to mention about this is the Bestial Devotion. Bestial Devotion is a horror type of spoken track that could have been on any King Diamond record, really. You know, it's really a cool spoken track. Okay, I listened to this Scorpions Gold Ballads EP. I also own this on vinyl, but this is just on tape. And they got 5 songs. This is a Spanish version. Just it's 5 tracks. Up to 1984. It's great. I listened to this Baron Cross EP. This came out before the first full-length album. But all these songs were re-recorded, I think but 1 or 2 maybe. They were re-recorded on their first album. Let me see. I wrote this down here somewhere. No, I didn't. I did not. Anyway, this is a great EP. Barren Cross, Belief, Christian heavy metal. Talking about Christian heavy metal, here we have a band from Chile, and they make, or they made, because I don't think they're active anymore, an unholy black metal, unblack metal Christian, and this is Almaguer, From the Agony to the Battle, and it has some symphonic stuff in it, some symphonic, some keyboards. It's not bad, but it's not killer either, and it has some bonus tracks, and the bonus tracks are live tracks. But the rest is like sold like a demo. If you go to Metal Archives, I mean, this comes out like a demo. Almaguer, From the Agony to the Battle, from 2015. But it's more like an EP, you know, to me, because it sounds really good. You know, got a good sound, but the songs are not killer. I have to say that too. I also listen to Toca Madera, and this is of course with Victor from Witch Tower. You know, the new wave of British heavy metal bands, Witch Tower. I also have their last full length somewhere here. Yes, this is the last album they made under the name of Witch Tower. This came out last year. But this is a Spanish heavy metal band that really sounds like the 80s. Like Panther or Goliath or Ángeles del Infierno. Toca Madera. It's an EP that came out last year on Demons Records. I already showed this a couple of times, but I play this also this week again. I also listened to this one by Uriah Heep, Different Worlds, from the 90s. You know, check out the song Different Worlds. It's pure AOR. Or Blood and Stone, that's a little heavier. It's a great record from the mid-90s, I think this one is. I also listened to Grim Reaper, At the Gates. The last album they released till date. And this is also the last band I saw till today. You know, the last concert I saw before this coronavirus bullshit was Grim Reaper, you know. I also listened to this cassette album, not demo, but cassette album. And this is from a band called Black Oath. It's an Italian band. And this is a kind of a box set. Black Oath. This came out in 2015, if I'm not mistaken. But this band was formed in 2006. It's occult epic doom metal. If you like Solstice, for example, even Candlemass, early days, Therit Uncool, you should check out Black Oath from Italy. They also have some influences from Dead SS or Doomsword. This is the tape, Black Oath, To Below and Beyond. The third full-length album. Okay, really cool stuff. Okay, more stuff. I listened to a lot of stuff this week again, like I always do. But now, being home, I'm also listening to some more extreme stuff. This is not really extreme, but anyway. Amorphis debut full-length album. It's got a lot of keyboards, some female vocalists on it too. It was special for the time when it came out. I think it came out originally in 1994, if I'm not mistaken. But this was they were the blind guardian from the death metal, the melodic death metal scene. Also, I listened to this compilation, Condenados al Olvido 2, Spanish Metal 80s, with some Spanish demos re-released on CD for the first time, because originally they came out on tapes. And we're talking about the demo 85 by the band called Harlem, or the demo 87 by Valhalla, or the demo 1989 by the band Pasión. This is quite cool. And there are more Condenados al Olvido, you know. There's the third part, the fourth part, the fifth part. I have quite a few of them too. Quite cool. I listened to this one by Manowar, Gods of War. And of course, this is an album with a lot of intros and a lot of instrumental parts and narrations. But if you take that away and you only listen to the nine songs, you know, like where they're really playing the instruments and Eric Adams is singing, you know, like 9 normal songs, then it's great. It's a great album. But in total, it has like 15 or 16 narrations and instrumentals, parts, plus those 9 songs. But if you take those, that away and you only focus on the songs, this is really a cool album. You know, I really like this album. And the songs you should just check are songs like King of Kings, Blood Brothers, great track, Blood Brothers. Got nothing to do with the Iron Maiden song with the same title, but Die for Metal, they made a video clip. That's maybe my least favorite song on this album. Odin, Gods of War, or The Sons of Odin. And The Sons of Odin came out like an EP before this album was released. Gods of War, great album by Manowar, but take out all the instrumental, stuff. Then you will like it a lot more. Believe me. Okay, I'm going to show a couple things more. Today I've been drinking a lot of beer because I was really in the mood to do that. This is very nice beer. It's Amstel. I really like this beer because I don't really get a strong hangover when I drink this stuff. Los españoles sabéis de qué cerveza estoy hablando. Amstel. Es muy conocido en España. Vale. Okay. I watched a couple of DVDs today. I watched the DVD that comes with this box, Michael Schenker Fest Live. And this was recorded in 2016. And we have here, Gary Barden is on here. Robbie McAuley is on here too, like singing. And Graham Bonnet is also on here. And these 3 guys, their voices are still amazing. They sound like back in the 80s. That's I think incredible, because Jon Bon Jovi, for example, nowadays, or Paul Stanley, they don't sound like back in the 80s or in the 70s. And it's normal they don't sound like that anymore, because time is not good for anybody. You start looking worse and your voice is getting fucked up. We all know that. But these guys, especially Robin McAuley, I mean, that's an amazing vocalist, and I always liked him. With when he was with Michael Schenker in the late 80s and early 90s, and he does just a great job on songs like "Save Yourself" or "Love Is Not a Game." I love that song, "Love Is Not a Game." Maybe my favorite song of the McAuley Schenker group. From the late 80s, early 90s stuff. I also watched this VHS again, because I watched it maybe 10 times since it came out in 93. And this goes through the history from the early days till 92, when Rob Halford left the band. It's really cool stuff. Nice VHS. And I also watched this live album, and I could not stop drinking. It just made me very much in the mood. It's 100% entertaining. Jon Bon Jovi was still sounding amazing, his voice in 2008. Richie Sambora was still in the band, and the rest of the band members, they were kicking ass. A great audience too. Madison Square Garden, legendary place, of course, for loads of musicians. You know, the Doors play there, the Who, Rolling Stones, Kiss play there, you know, of course too. And it's a very magical place in New York City. And this is an amazing live concert with a great set list. I mean, they're playing amazing songs. They play quite a few tracks from the Keep the Faith, including Dry Country. Dry Country is, to me, an amazing song written by Jon Bon Jovi himself. I think I also have it on CD single somewhere. Dry Country. It's a great song. Also, Better Roses from Keep the Faith. In These Arms. But of course, they also play from my favorite album by this band, Bon Jovi, is Slippery When Wet. And they play Raise Your Hands. You know, it's quite a deep cut, you know, in the norms of Bon Jovi. But also they play some later 2000 songs, you know, 2001, 2005, like Have a Nice Day or It's My Life. You know, it's just a great live album. And something else I've been doing this week, I've been starting to read again, the Metallian Bible, you know, with the Slayer fanzines, all bound into one book. A lot of stuff about Mayhem, Burzum. Also, when the inner circle was still active, after the inner circle, when people got murdered, including Euronymous from Mayhem, and the church burning, and Faust going to jail. There's an interview with him on here too. There's a lot of insights of the black metal movement, you know, from the early 90s especially. But of course it started already in 85, this fanzines, the Slayer fanzines, done by this guy that is just a true metal maniac. Only the first fanzines, you know, they were a little bit infantile, like childish, let's put it that way. And a couple of the laters from the 90s, I already bought them, you know, back in the 90s. But it's cool to have all the stuff from 85 till, I don't know when exactly, into the 2000s, you know, fanzines are in here too. And it's just cool stuff, you know, from this first fanzine till the last fanzine of Slayer. You know, it's just great. If you like Destroyer 666, they're in here. Or Niflheim. I also picked out some Niflheim to play this week. So I'll play that next week. Okay, everybody. I am drinking a little bit more. Cheers. You know, this is something I forgot about last week. You know, I didn't know how to say it. I forgot it. Some people remind me. I hope so I didn't talk too fast, because sometimes I feel like I talk too fast. Fucking crazy motherfuckers. Anyway, stay metal, everybody, and keep it true. Even if you like Bon Jovi, you have to keep it true at the end. Stay metal!